So how has your rent been? So where was it like 5 years ago, the rent?
I mean, the rent was significantly lower. Now it's gone up about 1,200 cents.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a big increase.
My issue was more the energy. I've been paying $2,100 since I first opened up. In the last 7 months, it shot up to $15,000.
What?
It's $15,000, and that's
you went from 2,100
to $15,000 in this establishment.
Oh gosh, 2,100 to 15,000. Normal people can't live like this, and this is what is so lost on so many people in the media. Normal people cannot afford life anymore. It blows me away. Joining me now, Brandon Tatum, friend of mine, former police officer, host of the Officer Tatum Show. Brandon, this is what is lost on so many people, especially so many people who do what we do, that there are normal people who've lived that life most of your life. I've lived that life most of my life. Dude, I can't just add 5-10 grand in costs for a year, or I have to make major life changes. I can't just do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, 1,000%. And the problem is that not only is the barber adding a life-changing event to his finances, also the people who are getting a haircut. He can't just, it's not like he can charge the same price when his rent goes up. Now people have to pay more for haircuts. So now everybody's losing. And I wish that, like I say, the elite people, they are the ones who are out of touch. They don't realize that people's money is becoming a lot more strained because of their failed policies. And I love the fact that Donald Trump went to this barbershop. Donald Trump is the president for the people, and he's getting the message out there that, look, something needs to change. And I'm hoping that people don't just listen to this clip or they experience what this gentleman is experiencing and just decide to do nothing about it. They better get their butts out and vote, or they're going to have something similar to happen to them in this next 5 years. And I think people don't want that.
No, I don't think people want that. I'm feeling confident about the election, but at the same time, I do worry, Brandon, about what you just kind of alluded to, that we've all either gotten complacent, either we're too confident, or people have checked out and given up. I feel that a lot when I talk to people. I hear a lot of this, Brandon. I hear a lot of, doesn't matter anyway, nothing matters. A lot of demoralization out there, and it saddens me, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, too, because I was talking to a lady that lived down the street from us, and she was walking her dog, and we got into a conversation about the election. And, of course, she was like, yeah, you guys are, thank God you're voting on the right side, right? Because we got Trump signs and everything in front of our house. But she said, I'm very worried about the election. And to be honest, in reality, we should not be worried about the election. Donald Trump should sweep this woman under the rug like nobody's business. She's terrible. Their policies are terrible. Her track record is terrible. She's not a person of the people. She's fake. She's disingenuous. She got 400 accents. Every time she talks to somebody, she's being fake. Nobody likes fake people. We're sick of these politicians. That's why we got rid of all these other idiots and we chose Trump. So it should be a clear victory for Donald Trump in almost every state in the union. I would say he should win every state. But you still got people who are stuck on stupid, and they're not going to vote in their best interest. They're going to vote because she's a woman and all this other crazy stuff that people decide to vote on. And some people are misinformed, uninformed, uneducated. They have no idea who's the first president of the United States of America. They're complete low information voters. So it shouldn't be close, but I'm afraid that it might be close because people are stupid. And then also people cheat. I talk to people on the left and some people that I wouldn't consider my friends, but they're acquaintances. I talk to them at the cigar lounge or whatever. And they're like, nothing happened in the 2020 election. And I'm like, you guys are completely out of touch with reality. Just because they say that it wasn't consequential don't mean that it didn't happen. And I disagree with them by saying that the cheating was inconsequential because Donald Trump should have clearly won because everybody loves him. Look at his rallies. Look at the parades that go around every city. Look at the signs. Look at the T-shirt. Look at the merch. I mean, people love Donald Trump. And these Democrats really don't have a message for the American people. And it's even more pervasive and clear now than it has ever been, especially after COVID, that these people don't have a plan for America. They hate America. They want illegals to run the country. They want men and women's sports. And it's sad, but this should secure an incredible victory for the Republican Party.
Yeah, it's sad. You are apparently have the patience of Job because you've been traveling on college campuses and talking to college kids in this country, and here's how one of those reactions went.
I noticed you have the, unless I read wrong, you have the Make America Great Again.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know,
As
it's
a
funny.
black man.
Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where
The
it
birth
starts.
of America?
No, point in America where America wasn't great.
On murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist.
Brandon, setting aside, obviously, and look, it's easy to make fun of the brain-dead college kid, but man alive, have we poisoned so many people's minds and our education system in this country where people they'll luxuriate in this country on their iPhone with Wi-Fi and everything else, just clean drinking water. They'll just luxuriate here and they'll think this place sucks, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was incredibly disheartening being on a college campus where you have a young brother that I was talking to, and he wasn't the only one, that literally says that he somehow has a disadvantage in life and the white man is holding him back. And I say, brother, you're on campus with all of these white people. How is their experience different than yours? And I asked him, I said, does your professors give you a different grade because you're black? Do you not have to study for your test? Like, explain to me where there's racism and where there's discrimination on this campus. And me and you are going to go fight today about that issue. He couldn't find nothing. Then he said they have this thing where they say America when was America great? People are just completely stuck on stupid. And I told him, and it's not in this clip, that he should probably get his money back because there's no way they're teaching you anything of substance and you too dumb to realize what greatness means. It wasn't perfect. America wasn't perfect, but the idea and concept of freedom don't exist anywhere like it exists in America. America had a position and a point in time where it was great and it's become even better. Just because some people were slaves don't mean that the country wasn't great and didn't have great potential. Just because, and I'll say it like this. I honestly believe this. I'll put the concept like this. When is an apple tree an apple tree? When it began to sprout and when it began to grow, apples or produce fruit. No, it was an apple tree when it was a seed in the ground. When was America great? At the foundation of the concept that our rights are given to us by God. That is the beginning of greatness. And then we see it come to fruition over time. And this kid, and I said, when in your life, your whole life, America has been the greatest it has ever been. This kid is much younger than me. When I was his age, or probably a couple years before him, we didn't even have cell phones. We didn't have Google. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. There was no smart cars, no smart technology. You couldn't just ChatGPT stuff. Bruh, this kid is living in the greatest time in American history where you can have all the information that you need at the push of a button. And this brother's complaining, and he's probably on scholarship. And he told me in the interview when I was talking to him that he come from the hood and everything like this. And then I said, brother, you a perfect example of the American dream. You could come from the hood, go to the University of Memphis, get an education, and then be the impact that you want to see in your own community. But you know what he said? Why do I have to be? Why do I have to be impacting my own community? Why don't they help us? I'm like, who, the white people? What are y'all talking about? And so it was a mess. It was good content, but it was a mess in these young brothers completely brain dead and on that victim plantation.
I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.